Hey guys, welcome to the Cast and Spear podcast. Today we are joined again by Lenny Lonsdale at Aquatic Apes on all the socials, one of my favorite YouTubers. And today we're going to be covering storytelling, the art of how to make a compelling story that everybody wants to watch. Welcome to the show, Lenny.
Cool. Thanks for having me again.
Absolutely. So, your videos just captivate me. I think I've watched them multiple times just because they're just so well laid out, and the structure is just so, I don't know, it strikes a nerve. It just is so good. Can you go into some of the details that got you to, were you always a natural storyteller? Like how did this all come about?
No, absolutely not. And before I started making the videos, I wanted to start making them for a long time beforehand, but it's scary to, especially at the beginning when there's not a lot of people watching, it's very scary to put something out there and know that it's probably not that good because you're just starting off, and know that probably not a lot of people aren't going to watch it. But if you can get past that part, and for me, it took me a long time to even make the first one after I was thinking about it. If you get past that part, then you just got to practice telling stories. And if you do anything a lot, you'll get better at it. And so I came into it knowing nothing about video editing, video filming, or storytelling. And I'm by no means an expert at it now, but obviously I've made about 100 videos now, and so I know a lot more than when I first started. And so the way that I make a video is I try and follow like the traditional structure of a story, which is there's a beginning of the story, there's a middle part of the story, and then there's the end of the story, which is sort of like setup, conflict, resolution. And most stories, it's like the basic format of a story, and it fits very well with spearfishing. So setup, I'm going to look for a fish, or I just shot a fish. Conflict is I'm trying to land the fish. Resolution is I either landed it or the fish broke away or whatever. And so that's the real basic structure. And then you want to make it interesting. You want to make it an interesting beginning. If someone clicks or swipes onto your video, you want it to be exciting. Like a good example is the beginning of the Batman movie. Any of the Batman movies, it's always exciting. Like in Batman 3, it was that airplane scene with what's that guy's name with the
Bane?
Bane, yes, the airplane scene with Bane, or with the Joker, it's the bank scene. It's like you watch it and you're like, oh, it's going to be awesome. And so you want your video to be like that as well. It's almost more important on YouTube because if someone watches a video on Netflix or even at the movie theater, they're like committed. You can't watch a Netflix video while scrolling other Netflix videos that you might like more. Like you're way more committed. But on YouTube, probably like 80% of people are watching your video while looking for something else in case your video starts to suck. So you got to make sure it doesn't suck at the beginning. You want to have them click on it, have them be excited. So something exciting or interesting or thought-provoking along with some sort of a setup or a conflict to be resolved is what I try and do. And then keep the pace flowing in the middle. And you don't want the audience to know the way you're going to end the story, if possible. And it took me a while to sort of realize this in the videos that I made, but you want anticipation to build. And then however you do resolve the conflict, you want it to be surprising or unexpected in some way. And so that's just up to you as the person telling the story to make that happen. For me, there's a lot of people on YouTube. Spearfishing is so cool. It's whether or not you spearfish, it's inherently, I think, just really interesting. And but it's too easy to just put dubstep music over your clip of shooting the fish and not edit it. Like, I bet you when YouTube was a bit newer a couple years ago and there was less competition, I bet you those videos got a lot of views. But now it's too easy to do it. Anyone can do it. You don't even need editing software. You don't need anything except for a GoPro and your cell phone. And there's a ton of that on there. And so unless it's like some sort of a crazy fish or something bizarre happens in the story, you're probably not going to get a lot of views on that. You have to tell a story. Whether you're telling the story in the moment, speaking to the camera, or you're doing a voiceover, or a combination of both, or if you can tell the story using just images, which I'm not as good at, and I wish I was better at it. But a good example of someone who does this is there's this YouTuber, I'm going to say his name wrong, but it's something along the lines of Dijon Cervanco. it's I think his channel is called DS. I think he changed it to DS Living, and it's this French guy who's also in Indonesia. I've never met him, but his videos are much, much, much less talking than mine. My videos is almost always me speaking throughout the whole thing. I'm terrified that if I stop speaking, then the audience is going to get bored and swipe away. But he gets a huge amount of views, and it's largely just beautiful images. None of the images are held for too long. Like, you're not going to see a 30-second clip on his channel, but they'll be much shorter than that. But it's much less speaking, and he tells a story through images. Long videos, not a lot of speaking, and but he still follows the structure. Like, there's a beginning where he's going out fishing for the day. There's a middle where he tries to catch and usually does catch a bunch of fish. And then there's an end where he cooks it up together with the locals on whatever tiny island he's living on. And so he still follows the structure. And you don't have to follow the structure. There's examples of people who don't. But if you're not sure how to do it, it's a nice place to start. I think that a real beginner doesn't necessarily even know the structure exists. Kind of a beginner, like maybe even like me still, is someone who knows the structure exists and follows it to a T. And then when you get more advanced and you have more experience, maybe you can start deviating from that structure intentionally and in a creative way. And then that's a level that I'm not quite at yet. But
when you're,
I don't know, that's sort of what goes in my mind for these videos.
absolutely. So when you're making a video, say it's like, okay, I got to go make a YouTube video. Have you already kind of broken down that structure of like, oh, this is what I'm going to go set out to do? Or is it primarily, I got a lot of footage, and then I'm going to make a story in the editing room from what I captured? What was interesting?
The story is made in the editing room for me.
Okay.
It's made in the editing room, and because I don't know, like otherwise the audience knows what's going to happen if you do it from sort of a journalistic perspective. Like, this morning I woke up and I went out fishing, and there was a lot of mahi, and I caught one mahi, and then I took it home and I ate it. It's like cool because it's cool to spearfish, but the audience knows what's going to happen. But if you add something to it, if you say like, yeah, I don't know, it depends on the moment, but and it's hard to come up with ideas, and it's something I've struggled with, and everybody struggles with, I think. And it's daunting to begin a project when you don't have the idea. And for me, that results in huge amounts of procrastination. But I usually find that if I just sit down, it's like a homework assignment, and I look at it and I say, okay, I'm going to complete a video or complete a script for a video right now. Whether or not it's good, it just needs to exist. Like, it's due at the end of the day, like a homework assignment. Then you might be surprised by what ideas come out of your mind if you just do it. But the fact that you don't already have those ideas in your mind before you approach it, I say this is like what's going on for me. It's easy to put it off, and you just think, oh no, I can't sit down, I don't have the idea already. And for me, I almost never know what the video is going to be about before I start the editing process. If I do, it's awesome, and I'm lucky in that moment. Like, I'm like, oh, all right, so this is the story that it's going to be. But it's usually not. It's usually made in the editing after.
Regarding that process, are you sitting down, like, okay, you shot the footage, you came, you put it on your computer. Sorry, I'm getting into the weeds. If this is too much, feel free to stop me. But I'm just like trying to role play it in my head, like, because I do this already, right? So it's like, you go down, you shoot your footage, you shot a couple cool fish, you're like, okay, that one fish or those two fish are pretty cool to talk about. And then you put it on your computer. Are you then taking out like a piece of paper, and then you're like, okay, here's a 3-act structure, so intro, and you jot some ideas down? Are you kind of like putting a skeleton to it, or are you just kind of like, because you have a lot of witty stuff in there, right? So it's a lot of this, I'm just like, how did you just throw that in? You know what I mean? So I'm just kind of curious of that kind of piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, that stuff I don't know. I don't know where it comes from. Like, just like stupid jokes. I don't know. I guess I just make stupid jokes in my life, and now I do it in my videos too sometimes. I don't know, when it's hard to find an idea, and sometimes it's really hard to find a theme. Like, sometimes I'll look at it and I'll just sit down and I'll watch the footage unedited, of the clips that are what the video is going to be about. And I just try not to think of anything. Like I just watch it and I just see, and then I think, okay, now I look at the piece of paper with my pen or a Google Doc or whatever, and I think, what happened in this story? And I'll just write out literally what happened in the story, or what happened in, like, whatever, what happened. And then I say, okay, so I know exactly what footage I have. I know exactly what happened. And then how can I make this interesting? How can I make it as concise as possible while also making it as interesting as possible? Is there some sort of a twist or some sort of an interesting fact I could throw in, or just something that's interesting or not normal and a little bit not expected? And it's just a grind. It takes a long time, and you just gotta churn it out. And for my scripts, I put a lot of effort into it. I make it as concise as I possibly can. And so that's for two reasons. First of all, I started making short videos, and I still mostly make short videos. So less than 1 minute long, where you have to be concise. There's no, you don't have the ability to ramble on about anything. But it's good practice, because you should never ramble on about anything, especially not on YouTube. Like if you're making a documentary, I think it's different. Like you have the person's attention in a different way. But if you're on YouTube, you got to be as concise as possible. And so no rambling. And even if you're not making a short video that's 1 minute long, you still want it to be as concise as possible. You don't want to waste people's time. I was watching a spearfishing video with my buddy the other day of, I don't know the channel. I don't even know if it was a channel, but it was somebody, I think he was spearing Dentex in Greece. And it was an unedited clip of his dive, which is a super deep and super long dive, because I don't know if you're familiar with those fish. They're like hard to catch. And anyways, we wanted to just see the depth. And so he starts on the surface and he's diving down, and then we just fast forward all the way to the place where he's on the sand. This wasn't even me touching the phone. This was him doing it. And then he's on the sand. Okay. And then my buddy just fast forwarded to the point, oh, there's the fish. Okay, back up a little bit, shot the fish. And then you see the struggle so it doesn't get caught in the rocks down there. And then fast forward, you don't want to see his boring swim up to the surface. And there he's on the surface. And so it's cool for him to put his whole unedited dive on there so that experienced people can see it. But it's really hard to convince someone on YouTube to watch that whole. His dive was probably 2.5 minutes long, and only about 10 seconds of action. So for me, I would only include that 10 seconds of action. And I would recommend for the people to do that as well. And you can just maybe say, this is X depth, this dive time was X length amount of time, rather than show it. And that's just for me. It's not the only way, but it is easier to keep people's attention that way.
No, that's super vital. Do you have any resources that people should check out that would help them be better storytellers?
Absolutely. I have a few recommendations. There's this YouTube channel called, I don't know what it's called. I think it's called Hayden Hillier Smith. Maybe John can link it in the show notes or something. But he's the editor for the famous YouTuber Logan Paul. Whether or not you like that guy's vlogs, it's this guy's a really experienced editor, and he really breaks down the importance of making every single second of your YouTube video interesting. So I learned a lot from him. Another thing I learned a lot from, another resource, is Aaron Sorkin's masterclass. And he talks about, there's the story structure that I talked about, which comes from Aristotle originally and probably somewhere else before that. But it's basically just setup, conflict, resolution. When you have a story, Aaron Sorkin always talks about, you need an intention, a goal, something you're set out to do, and then an obstacle. And I don't know if he says it or not, but you want it to be like in an interesting way. You don't want the audience to think that a story is going to end a certain way and then have them be right. Like the best movies, think of the best movies you ever watch. You're surprised by the ending. It's a plot twist. And for some reason, the viewer is excited by that. I don't know why I love when I'm surprised by an ending, but I do love it. And beyond that, another thing which I was thinking of starting to do, I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to, and I recommend this, is find videos, start on YouTube, find a YouTube video that you really like, preferably one that has a lot of views from an experienced YouTuber. Like another, well, we'll get into that in a sec, but so find a video you really like, download it. It's illegal to download it, but don't download it to repost it anywhere. Just download it, put it onto your own video editing software, and then go along with the video and then make cuts in the video where the video creator made cuts. And then just look at it and just see what went through that person's mind as they edited that video. I'm going to do this today. I was thinking about it just yesterday, how I want to start. Because some videos are just, you don't even know why it's edited well. And if you break it down in your own editing software, I think that's a great way to just get into the mind of the person who created that viral video. And the person I'm going to start doing this with is this YouTube creator called Casey Neistat, which his videos are so interesting. They're so fun. And he also talks about the story structure in some of his videos. And he also talks about the importance of just doing it a lot. You'll get better at it. And I kind of lost my train of thought there, but also check out Casey Neistat.
Casey Neistat's amazing, and his brother just started a channel a couple of months ago as well, and his stuff is really really good storytelling. But I think these are perfect resources. I was chatting with Lenny the other day, and I got the masterclass from Aaron Sorkin, and that thing is amazing. So definitely check that out. If you guys want to find Lenny and say what's up, he's at Aquatic Apes on all the socials. Definitely drop him a note. And tomorrow we're going to go a little bit deeper dive into making videos, talking about software and editing techniques as well. So come back tomorrow. See ya.